Hi! In reading this week, we are talking about the reasons why authors write, or author's purpose. And we talked about this a little bit earlier in the year. We called it PIE, P-I-E. So that stands for persuade, inform, and entertain. So we can have three categories that give us an insight into why an author might write a story. So if they're writing to persuade, they're trying to get you to do something, to go somewhere, to buy something. So it could be a commercial on TV or an advertisement in a magazine. They want you to buy something, go somewhere, or do something. So P for persuade. I is inform. So inform, information. They're giving you some information. Maybe it is a story about a person. We read some biographies of Dr. Seuss to learn about him. It could be a nonfiction text that talks about snakes or whales, and you're learning more about that animal and where it lives and what it does. That would be for inform, information. And then the last reason is to entertain. So for fun. Maybe it's a silly book and they want you to laugh. Maybe it's a poem and they want you to appreciate nature by doing a nature poem. Maybe it's a story, like our Flat Stanley story is definitely an entertaining story. It's not information and they don't really want us to make somebody flat. So 3 different reasons why an author could write. And every time an author writes, they write for a reason. So as a reader, it's important for us to understand why, because it will help us understand the story if we know why the author wrote a certain story. So we're going to look at a few books and see if we can figure out, is it to persuade, to entertain, and to inform. Sometimes you can look at the title and the cover and figure that out pretty easily. Other times you need to read the whole book. So let's try it and see how we do. All right, so the first book is called Hugopotamus by Steve Metzger. So if we look at this book, it looks like a hippopotamus, and it says, Albert is a big hippo with an even bigger heart, but when he tries to show his friends how much they mean to him, nothing turns out right. They think he's too strong or too rough, and no one wants to play with him. So what's a hugopotamus to do? So it sounds like it's an entertaining book about this silly hippopotamus. I don't think it's going to give us information about hippopotamuses. However you say that. It doesn't look like a fact book. It definitely looks like a storybook. Cartoon pictures on the inside. We don't know if it's going to persuade us about something. It could persuade us how to be a better friend if he's having trouble making friends. So we could say it's either to entertain or persuade until we read the rest of that book. All right, here's a book called Owls Live in Trees by Melvin and Gilda Berger. Why do you think they might have written this book? It looks like a nonfiction book, and it looks like it gives me information about owls on the inside. So what do you think? If you say inform, I think you're right. Looks like a book that's going to give us information about owls. You know, for example, burrowing owls often live in holes in the ground dug by other animals. Oh, that's interesting. So some owls live on the ground. Some owls don't. All right, let's try this one. This is called This Book Just Ate My Dog. And it's written by Richard Byrne. Why do you think he might have written this book? It says, wanted, nice reader to show this naughty book who's the boss. Please help. Looks like it's a cartoonish type of book. I don't really think it's giving me information about a dog and what to do if it eats your homework. So what are you thinking? Is it to persuade, inform, or entertain? I'm thinking entertain. It's going to be a fun book about a book that eats a dog. All right, how about this book? It's called Tornadoes. It says, watch out, there's a tornado. What does a tornado do? Find out in this book. If we look on the inside, it has a lot of nonfiction text features, so captions and pictures and bold print. Would this book be written to persuade, to entertain, or to inform? If you said inform, to give you information about tornadoes, you are right. All right, let's try one more. This one is called After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again by Dan Santat. Why do you think they wrote this book? It says, life begins when you get back up. My name is Humpty Dumpty. I'm famous for falling off a wall. You may have heard about it. But that's only half the story, because I decided to get back up. And when I did, something amazing happened. This story is about my life after the fall. So is it to persuade, to entertain, or to inform? I'm thinking entertain and maybe persuade, because it says he got back up again. So maybe this book might be trying to persuade you that when you fall down, you should try to get up again. But again, we can't really tell until we've read the story. So sometimes you can only make a good guess by just looking at the cover and reading the back of the book. So I hope you've learned a little bit more about the reasons why authors write. It's as easy as pie, P-I-E, persuade, inform, entertain. So that's basically our reading for the week. So when you're reading some books this week, see if you can determine why the author wrote that story. To persuade, to inform, to entertain. As easy as pie. See you later.